Spring has finally arrived at the Frugal Homestead. Flowering trees are in bloom. Alright, we're checking out where we are with the yard now that it's finally not freezing cold. We have some tulips up. Lots of our perennials are sprouting in our flower garden out front. We've been raking up some leaves out of the garden beds. I have planted hundreds of bulbs in this garden. So where are all the flowers? That is not hundreds of tulips. Our hydrangeas are alive and well, starting to sprout some leaves. We have all these big branches that recently came down in the last windstorm. Let me show you this one. This is more than just a branch that came down. This is one big old chunk of tree. Look at the size of that. That snapped off the top of a tree. Big old fallen branch, more fallen branch. So Frugal Daddy is going to use his wood chipper that he found in the trash at the end of somebody's driveway to get rid of all this mess. Now over here by the shed we have some lilac bushes which are not flowering yet, but at least they're alive. We have a couple of Montauk daisies. There's Frugal Daddy surveying the farm fields. There's our dirt. There's our Dwayne. Alright, so we're ready for planting here on the homestead, but let me show you this little miracle. This is a kale plant that survived the winter. This was planted last summer. In fact, it looks like it's actually going to flower. I didn't know kale flowered. It looks like it's going to have a flower there on the top. Now here at the edge of the garden plot is where we have our compost piles, and I just put a whole bunch of leaves on top that I raked out of this garden bed. But underneath those leaves are a whole mess of scraps of fruits and vegetables and coffee grounds. And cleverly we have put our garden plot right next to a nice bunch of trees. Here by the garden is our trap, and you can see there is a peanut butter jar in there to lure the animals. Last year the groundhogs devastated the garden, so we are ready for them this year. We have also trapped and relocated skunks and possums in addition to quite a few groundhogs. Daddy is the animal relocation expert.
And a lesson in waiting for the universe. A month after I bought that trap, I finally couldn't hold out. I bought it. I have another one now. I found one.
Now here's our strawberry patch that we planted last spring or summer. And these all look pretty alive. Happy about that. Sadly, I don't see any strawberries yet. Here we have our blueberry bushes, also planted last summer, which are alive and growing their little leaves. So we have 4 blueberry bushes. So last year we planted 5 or 6 raspberry bushes over where Daddy's standing, and you can see that at this time of year it's nice and sunny there. But there's a big tree there. And as the summertime arrives, this is a shady area. The raspberries weren't that happy in the shade, so if there's any left, we might need to transplant them. Look, it's a single stem of raspberry bush.
And here's another one coming out. That's a raspberry.
It was bigger than that when we planted it, but at least there's some life there. Here's our pile of bricks that Frugal Mommy has stacked, 1 by 1. 2 by 2. I know, it's a beautiful stack. Over here, this massive pile of ivy, well, that's covering more bricks. And every year I try to rip more and more ivy out, uncover the bricks, and add the bricks to the stack. Now we're heading towards the orchard. behind this magical gate. We planted... There is so much crap back here that should not be here. Why is there a TV in our orchard, Daddy?
Because you like big fat TVs like that.
I don't like them in my orchard. My vision for this orchard is that it will be completely flat ground from the back of the garage over to the fence. Flat ground with grass and some fruit trees coming out, and all the rest of this undergrowth and
so much
TV and crap will all be gone. The Frugal Daddy just loves to throw stuff back here. Now, since we planted these fruit trees 5 years ago, we really haven't borne much fruit. Is that the wood chipper?
Yes.
There's the wood chipper. We planted apple trees, peach, pear, and cherry, I believe. And it would be really nice to get some fruit. One year we got a whole bunch of peaches. That was an anomaly.
This is figs?
That's a fig tree?
You get a lot of figs here.
Have we ever harvested any figs?
Yes.
Well, did we make fig Newtons with them? So last year we planted some lettuce in this planter out front, and it lived through the fall quite nicely. So every morning when we were walking to school, we would pick some lettuce leaves out of our giant planter, and Nevy would eat the lettuce leaves as we walked to school. I'm falling. There's our planter full of dirt. I don't see any lettuce sprouting yet. Do you see any lettuce sprouting yet?
I'm standing in a pot.
You are standing in a pot of dirt. Well, that's made you taller. All right, Nevy wants us to follow her. One thing I try to do every fall is bring some potted plants inside and keep them alive over the winter so I don't have to buy new plants every spring. The most successful this year was this begonia. This is a chrysanthemum.
They smell sour. They smell sort of sour.
Really?